What's up, people? Welcome to Riding on Ruby. Well, today I wanted to talk about my concerns about having like a lighter bike. This used to be Harley's lightest bike at 514, but that new Sportster S, I believe it's like 480 something. So that is actually a little bit lighter. But I mean, if it was like an 800, 900 pound bag or a dresser, it might be a little bit harder. But you see these videos out there where a couple of guys will come over, they'll grab the front of the bike, they'll pick it up, throw it into a van, grab the back of it, pick it up, shove it in. Within a minute, that thing's gone. So, like a week after I got Ruby 2 years ago, I ended up getting an alarm right here system. I got these from Walmart.com, and it was a 2-pack. So this one actually I was saving as a backup, but I'm gonna put it on the back of the shed. And these come with there's no name. It's just weird. There's like no name to this, but it comes with either sticky tape, which I wouldn't recommend for a bike with all the bumps and bouncing around, but that would be good to put like on the back of your shed door or your garage door or something like that. And this way, the minute somebody tries to do something with the door, the alarm's gonna go off. There's 7 different alarm sounds that you could pick. There's 3 different volume levels, which I didn't even know that until I was looking at the level. I just have it set whatever it's on. And and then it comes with heavy duty zip ties, and that's what I use. Just find any spot, over here on the fork, somewhere on the frame, and just zip tie it on there. It's black, it kind of blends in, and I'll show you a little bit about how it's gonna work and the motion sensors and all that. But don't put it under your seat or in one of your covers or something, because you might be muffling it. So it was a 2-pack from Walmart.com for it was under $25. And, it's a peace of mind. People want to steal your bike, they're going to steal it. But, if you make it harder for them, then maybe they won't, or at least somebody will see them. Now, I just got this one recently. And again, this is like a no-name one. Or no, actually, it does have a name. It's YOHOOLYO. I have no idea how you pronounce that, and it's model LK603. Now, this one has 110 decibels, and it's comes with a little Allen wrench that they have in the little slot here when you first get it. And there's 4 screws on the back that you need that specific wrench to open and change the batteries. It comes with the set of 6 batteries in there, and then they give you an extra set of 6 batteries. And then it also comes with, excuse me for my not making good choices here, it comes with the reminder cord. So this reminder cord will also work 2 ways. One, it's going to remind you not to try to take off when you got something locked on your disc. And then the other is that if these crooks or thieves are riding around, like in a parking lot or some area, over someone's house, and it's kind of in a darker side street, well, then they'll see this on there, and then if they're smart, they'll say, forget it, the guy's got an alarm, let's go. And it comes in this nice little carrying case. So, and then you get an extra pack of batteries right here, and you don't do nothing with it. You just take it out and slip it right in, you're done. And then it comes with a set of 2 keys, and they got these like round, funky looking keys. So the way it works, I'm sure most of you probably know, but the way it works, there's a little pin here, and you slide this up over into the slot. First you put on the reminder cord over it, then you slide this up onto your disc, and then you just push this button. When you push the button, it locks into place and it sets the alarm. So now if somebody, not only if somebody comes over and tries to like break it off with put a screwdriver in there and pry it off or cut it or something, well, it's gonna start going off. So you're gonna hear a and then when you try to shut it off, it's also gonna, because you're making movement, but you put the key in, as soon as you turn it, it pops back up and it shuts off. So there's no big deal about that. It's almost like a little code that, like, when you shut your alarm off, you hear a beep or whatever. So it's going to be a deal like that. And this was under $25, and I got this from Amazon.com. So my theory is that even though the front of the bike, you have the fork lock, well, there's a lot of videos out there where they try it. Well, it's locked, but you know what? If they jam it hard enough, it's going to break that lock. And then if you ever did get your bike recovered, well, have fun replacing all those parts. And this particular bike, the lock is actually in the ignition. There's not a separate lock for it, so that would really hurt. But now if you have this on there and the other alarm that I had on since, after I got her, then as soon as they come over and to go to shake this, it should set off both alarms. So rather than to put this on the front tire, I'm going to put this on the back tire. But now they show you it's like 7 millimeters space where it's going to slide over the rotor. So the thing you want to do is, if you got calipers or something before you buy it, unless you buy one that somebody else has, then you measure that to make sure it's not over the 7 millimeters. And I believe it's also 7 millimeters for the little pin. So the thing you do is you slide it onto your rotor, and you, rather than to just go over it and lock it, which you could do if you got like it's not like a wide, band around it, but you put this in one of the holes that are in there, and then you just push it, lock it, and then you pull up your reminder. If it's in the front, pull it up over here, one of the grips, and you're done. And if somebody comes over and tries to shake it or something, the thing's going to be going nuts. And I'm hoping that in my case, if they do that and there's going to be two alarms on it, they're both going to go off. I mean, a lot of people nowadays don't want to get involved with, like, oh, I'm not going to, someone's going to shoot me or whatever. But hey, you could still, if I was going out and I seen somebody trying to look like they're grabbing someone's bike, I'd be like, hey, is that your bike? Oh, okay, well, because, I heard this guy over here, he called the cops, they're on their way, they'll be here any minute, so all right, hey, no problem. And if they're a crook, as soon as you walk away, they're gone. So, hey, if I can help somebody save their bike, I'm going to do that. And then this way it doesn't look like, well, I did it myself, so, the guy's going to, like, hunt you down or whatever, because some people are crazy like that, But anyway, so I'm not going to put this on the front tire, because I'm going to put it on the back instead, because my theory is, whether if they just, two guys pick up the front, even if it's locked, and they start rolling towards like a van, and to put it in, well, now it's not going to roll, because this is going to be on the back disc, and because of that, it's not going to go nowhere. So now you got to pick up the whole bike and carry it, which might be a lot harder for like two guys or something. I mean, it's pretty heavy, even though it's 514, it's pretty heavy. And I'm sure a lot of bikes are heavier than this. So, hey, it's just that one little bit of peace of mind that's just going to make it a little bit more difficult. And hopefully most of these guys that are stealing bikes and stuff, they're just going to say, you know what, no, we're not going to mess with that, go on to the next one. And I mainly are more concerned about, like, if I'm parking in like the supermarket or Walmart's, where there's a lot of traffic going by. Yeah, there's a lot of people and everything, but like I said, if somebody just grabbed it, stuffed it into a van within a minute and took off, most people aren't going to say, oh, let's get a video of this, or let me get the license plate. So another idea you could do too is go out and get one of those Apple iPod, whatever it's called, the ear tags. And I've been debating about that, but I'm going to look into it a little bit more. But you could get one of them, and there's a certain way, there's a video on YouTube where you could actually pop the back off, like where you replace the batteries. But then there's an inner little circle. If you pop that out in the certain amounts where the clips are, you could actually take the speaker out. The speaker's just glued in there. And the reason why you want to do that is because if the crook has an iPhone, it's gonna alert them, which is something you can't change, but it's gonna alert them that, hey, there's an iPad or an I tag somewhere, and then they can start looking for it. But if the thing goes off saying there's an air tag, well, you know what? It's going to take them a while to try to figure out. And if you hit it in a really good spot, they might not find it for a while. Meantime, you could be tracking it and say, hey, police, yeah, I got the thing, come over here, look, or it's at this, 109 Main Street in, East Bumfuck or something. So, that would be, to me, that's a good idea too. So I might come up with something like that. But for now, I'm just gonna rely on these 2 alarms. So let's see if the alarm. Oh, and by the way, this first alarm right here runs on 3 AAA batteries. So like every spring when Ruby comes out of storage, I end up putting brand new batteries in, and that's plenty enough to last you for the whole riding season. It's probably good enough for people that could ride all year too, at least for a year, 6 months, 9 months, a year. It does have an audible little beeping noise that lets you know that the batteries are low too. But it's pretty good for the price. 2 of them for under $25, and there's nothing to install. All you gotta do is just grab it and stick it somewhere with the zip ties, and you're done. Or you could use this on your bicycle, your scooter. You could put it on, like I said, on the back of your shed door, or you could just come up with a way to put it up there permanently, even like a piece of duct tape, as long as you're not blocking the speaker. Then this way, somebody does something to your shed door or your garage door, beep, 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 thing goes off, and hopefully they'll just be like, oh shit, and they'll run away. They're not going to say, oh, that's not loud enough for people a block away to hear. I'm going to keep continuing breaking in. So let's see if you should be able to hear it. So let me turn locker. Okay. Guess what? My battery's low. Alright, so hold on, people. I gotta change my batteries. We'll pause right there for a minute. Alright, people. Well, that was a good example. At least this way you got to see how it sounds like when your battery's dead. So I changed the battery. It only took a few seconds. Alright, so here's the remote. You have the lock, unlock, this lightning bolt, which changes like certain features and stuff. It's in the manual, and the manual is pretty good to understand. And then you have your different tones that you could pick. All right, so right now it's off. So when you arm it, you press it once. So it'll make that tone, and then it gives you a second one like to verify it's locked. Now if somebody comes over, hopefully you can see my hand, and they come over and they say like, oh, is this thing locked? It's gonna make a noise just like that. So that should, like, oh crap, let's get away. And if you have that second one on the disc in the back, well, then that's probably gonna go off too. But if they do it within a couple of seconds, then the alarm will go off. So first they walk over, they can't see that there's an alarm on it. There's no lights blinking or nothing like that, and you just put it on, zip tie it, you're done. So they come over, hey, is this thing locked? And then, well, oh yeah, hey, let's take it. Oh, that's pretty darn loud to me. If you're out in the, of course I'm inside the house, but if you're out like in the shopping mall, or it's somewhere out in front of your house or in your driveway, and that's about the only thing you could do to lock it up, well, there you go, man. That thing is freaking awesome. I love it. It took me about maybe 2 minutes to put it on. The hardest part was just trying to figure out, well, where do I want to put it where it's going to blend in, but you're going to be able to hear it. And if it's in like the middle of the bike, well, it might not, like somewhere in the middle, it might not go off on certain, like until maybe they stand it up because it's got like that gyro. So as soon as it leans up, it's gonna do it as well. But I put it in an area where it's gonna just pick up any kind of motion. The minute you get that motion, and then there you go. And like I said, you could pick from 7 different, alarm sounds that it's gonna make. And I think I just said, well, I'm just gonna go with everything that's generic, or like the default one instead of playing around with it. The old saying, if it works, don't fix it. So I would definitely highly recommend these. If you don't, even if you have an alarm, what's it gonna hurt to have an extra one? And I mean, you could go around with like a cable. I have cables that she gets locked off when she's in the shed. She's uh, driven into a big, like an eye bolt into the cement. You ain't pulling that out. And I got a big thick chain that goes through the back tire and the frame, and then through that into the floor. And then the front tire I have the same thing, another big thick chain goes through the tire, through the frame, and it goes around part of the snowblower. So if somebody wants to pick it up and drag it away, they're going to have to take the shed floor, the snowblower, and in the meantime, all these alarms are going off. So hopefully there's no one out stupid enough to try to do that. All right, people. Today here in the U.S., it's Saturday the 31st. So tonight's New Year's Eve. And it's pretty crappy weather here. It's raining, very foggy. So if anyone's in this area, in the Connecticut area, please be careful when you're out there driving. All right, people. Hopefully, you might got some information out of these alarms. The whole thing that got me mainly interested in both of these alarms is that there's no installation. I don't have to take apart the wiring and hook something up, and then it might drain on the battery itself. I already went through a dead battery once. I don't want to do it again for a while, at least 3 or 4 years. So, but I'm just hoping that, this just gives you a little bit more peace of mind if I know I got to go somewhere and I don't really like the situation, or I'm going to be in somewhere for a while, not just to run in and come out. Then I'm going to throw on the extra disc lock alarm when I have to do that. But no matter where I go, I always put on the other one, the black one. And like I said, they got motion sensors and they're very, very touchy. All I did was just barely move this. I didn't even like jam it, just pushed on it just to turn it gently, and the thing went off. And there's been times where I keep forgetting that I put it on or thought I shut it off, and I have a backpack a lot of times on the back of the bike, on the back of the seat, and I do around the sissy bar with the bungee cord, and I'll walk over and I'll grab that and start trying to get the bungee, and thing goes wild. So they're pretty good for $50, well, total, but for under $25 you get a 2-pack. I put one on the front of the bike somewhere, one on the back, and you got double trouble. But you can set one control or one remote, so it's gonna work with both. That's in the directions as well. So if you want to do that, you can. But like I said, I'm putting this one, the second one, on the back of the shed door, and somebody even just goes near the shed. I'm sure if we get a windy day, it might rattle the door and make it go off, but I don't care. I'll just check my security cameras. They'll notify me, and I'll see what's going on. All right, people. So, hey, 2023 is coming up. I don't know about you, but this last couple of months this year and most of this year has been shit for me. I had the COVID, then that went into a sinus infection, and having all kinds of issues with some other things stressing me out. So I'm hoping we're all going to have some good things coming in 2023. Hopefully be happy, you'll be healthy, and have a wonderful new year, and especially be filled with love and compassion for others. All right, people. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe because it's going to help me out a lot. And like the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, people.